G'day gang, welcome to the video. Just out here training on my $400 bike with the pros. This is with Lotto, banging it out up Gorge Road. Just did like a 150k ride with Lotto on the $500 Reid Osprey, training with the pros on the cheap ass bike. And this is Adelaide, 2 down under time, and I've got the GoPro here on. So this is welcome to the video. We're going to do a little review video, long-term review on the Reid Osprey. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Do you need a super lightweight bike? If you're racing the Tour de France, you do. If you're trying to get, if you were losing races by a second or a couple of seconds, then yeah, you need to have a bit better equipment. But otherwise, it's basically if you can put out the power like pros can, or close to it, then a lightweight bike's going to help you. Or if you're losing Strava segments by a couple of seconds, then the lightweight bike will help you. Otherwise, the weight really doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter that much. The difference between a 7 kilo bike and a 10 kilo bike could often be €5,000. So as long as your bike's under 10 kilos, I'd say 10 kilos is probably the max. Maybe 11 kilos is the max. Like 11, yeah, maybe 12 kilos. What do you, Thomas? Let us know below. What do you think the max is? But for me to be a performance at a high level, I would say the max weight for a bike for me personally would be 10 kilos. For a pro, it's going to be more like 8 kilos. But for me, 10 kilos is light enough to be doing anything I want to do. But anyway, let's enjoy the video. We're going to do a little intro and leave your comments, questions down below. You're not going to get any footage from anyone else. Enjoy. Are you ready for the gas? We got the hot sauce. Test that motherfucker. So this is the Reid Osprey long-term review. I've taken off the crank, save weight. I did put a Tiago crankset on there, because it came stock with 170s and I've wanted 175. I'm just used to that. Personal preference. I regret it. I should have put a mountain bike crankset on here, like a 22 34 42, like a mountain bike Dior crankset, 9-speed. I did snap the rear derailleur, bent it. I did have a chain on there that was too short, 100% my fault. And then Toro's riding, she did big combos. Anyway, my fault. I did replace the derailleur. It's a mountain bike derailleur, works perfect, long cage. Run a 36 on there, no worries. It's got a 32 at the moment. And these rims are really good. I did replace the spokes, have been all rebuilt in the rear wheel. I loaned the wheel to a mate, and he just kept popping spokes. He's a pretty strong rider, so he got that rebuilt with Kim Henschke, North Adelaide Cycles. So we have the 32 cassette on the back. It's got this rack, put the rack on there. It's an Axiom rack, works really good. Beautiful rack, it's one of my favourite racks ever. I could probably put some tape on there to make it a little bit more durable. And I run the Crud Road Racer, but when you put a rack on there you can't, because it sort of hits here. So what I did is I did a bit of a zip tie job, dodgy brothers job, but it works perfect, it works really good. And I've done some good touring on this bike over to Burma, etc. Got a little light here just to, that light does jack all really, but better than nothing. I didn't really like the ports that the Reid had on here. It was sort of like hitting the brake over here. So this Axiom rack's perfect, The 27.2 seat posts, I like that because it gives a bit of flex. And derailleur, I snapped a derailleur hanger. When the derailleur got snapped, 100% my fault. And it was easy to score one here in Thailand even. I didn't even bring a spare one. Rookie error. Tyres, I've still got the original tyres. I put some faster tyres on there. These rims are still holding up pretty good. What else we got? We got the front wheel's perfect, no worries. Bearings have been great. The fork's been great. Handlebars I did replace. I put some Cannondale because I like that sort of shallow drop. Put a little mirror on there. This is the Italian race mirror, which I do prefer the cat eye mirror over this one now. There's some little seeds I got there, some long gone seeds, and we'll plant those in the forest. Got the Crud Road Racer in the front. My only critique with this bike is that the tyre clearance is a bit limited. If you want to run fenders with 25 mil tyres, it's just working. If I could click my fingers, I'd put a fatter fork on here that could fit maybe 28mm tires, you know, and same with the rear. Otherwise, for the money, it's been a fantastic bike, and I've beat guys on $10,000 bikes, etc. So there you go, that's my Reid Osprey Elite long-term review. Done a lot of miles on this bike, done a lot of fast times on it, put a power meter on there, done a lot of videos about it. It's definitely quality. So if you're in the budget, $500 price range, I mean, I'm not sure if you can get this model anymore, but it was good. I do rate Reid bikes, especially 500 to 600 bucks beyond. So that's my review there, not sponsored. Bought this bike myself, still going strong. I like the alloy steerer, because if you want to go touring, you can launch it up. If you want to do TTs, you can slam it down. And there you go, that's the Reid. The Reid Osprey Elite, the most famous Reid on the planet. Beautiful. So that's proof that you don't need to spend big bling to get really fit and to go really far distances. I've done like 200k rides in that thing and done really fast bunch rides with it. It's perfect. The only thing I could really critique is that tyre clearance. I do love that 28mm tyres on my bikes these days. But even my beloved TCR doesn't handle the 28mm tyres in the rear. So, you know, can't always get perfect, but there you go. That's the Reid review, done and dusted. Thanks for that. It's just been a good game changer riding a bike that cheap, you know, and beating guys on $10,000, $15,000 bikes. You know, flogging them and did a 32-minute up Doisy Tep, doing some good times on that bike. You know, so it's definitely if that bike holds you, if the Reid Osprey holds you back, you've got to be a pretty good rider. You know, you have to be a pretty good rider for that to be a negative thing to have. But other than that, it just proves the point that $500 bike, Shimano Sora, and then now the new Shimano Sora is even better. You know, it's even crisper and better braking. It's fantastic. But that 9-speed stuff is legit. It is legit.